Well, we are back with another episode of the Combat Sports Report. What's going on, fight fans? I'm your host, Nick Marcello, and today we have Ty No Smoke calling into the show. We have Kemoy Anderson calling into the show. I had to bring in the heavy hitters. Let's go.
Yes, exactly.
My name's Esteban. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Whether you're just starting out with boxing or looking to elevate your game, the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove is the perfect glove for you. It's got that double splinted technology that runs on the back of the glove that helps keeps your knuckles and your wrist in alignment. When you slide your hand in, you'll feel a nice silky interior and an ergonomic thumb position. As you strap the wrist, you'll notice a nice adjustable strap which helps put as much tension as you like or as little depending on your preference. On the outside of the glove, you'll notice a sweat-wicking thumb to help keep you focused during your training. So to elevate your game, make sure you check out the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove.
Right now.
Tell me who you are, get in the car.
Right now.
Watch out, back out, wait up, my wake up, stay up, they gon' get in, they gon' take us, raise up, we got color, they try and gray us, you are not listening to the greatest. Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car, right now, to the stars, I want it all, right now, tell me who you are, get in the car, right now, to the stars, I want it all, right now, tell me who you are, get in the car, right now, to the stars, I want it all, right now.
The biggest fulfillment is knowing that as a fitness professional, I could change that person's life.
I wanted to motivate people to become the best versions of themselves. Guiding someone and seeing the happiness, no words can describe that.
I'm so passionate about the fitness industry because I get to impact, I get to inspire, and I get to change lives every day.
You know who you are and who you want to become. Uncertainty and failure stand before you, but the biggest obstacle is you. How do you handle adversity? How many times can you fall and still pull yourself back up? What do you do when no one else is around? What do you do when you get tired, unmotivated, when you don't feel like it? When you want to quit? Do you take a breath and focus? Only the journey matters. There are only the moments that take you closer to who you want to become. Moments that make you a little bit better today than yesterday. And the only way to get there is you. Are you up for it?
Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report. I'm here with Ty No Smoke. Got another fight coming up, and today we're getting into it. Ty, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How about you?
I'm good. Like I said, thank you for taking the time. Before we get into this next fight, I haven't really had the opportunity to talk to you since your last fight. So, I mean, coming off of a big knockout, man, plenty of footage, blew up the internet. What was that like?
Man, it was awesome, bro. It was awesome making that transition from amateur to pro, and then being able to go out there and get a 5-minute round in, and then find the finish in that second round. Man, it was definitely a good experience. I got cut in the first round over my eye, so it was good to know that I can work through stuff like that. I mean, I had blood all in my right eye. I could barely even see until I sat down in between rounds, and the cut, man, cleared me up. So it was good to know that I could work through some adversity in a pro rule set, man. I kind of always knew that a pro rule set would fit me better than those amateurs, but we finally found out, so it was awesome.
Yes, sir. You look super composed in there, like you said. Even with the cut, I mean, you stayed patient, stayed to the game plan. It was really masterful to see, and I mean, I think that comes because of your, what do we call it here? Your storied amateur career. So could you kind of talk to me about the process with Fury? Do they just let you know immediately after that fight, like, hey, we'd like to get you on December, or is it more as opponents come up, they give you the call?
Well, as soon as I walked out the cage, the first thing I was handed was my paycheck. So that was awesome. So as soon as I got out the cage, I signed my paycheck, and then I walked straight over to the promoter because we had the situation where I was a post limb, so I had to wait. I was supposed to be the featured prelim, but we had to wait for the whole card to finish up because of time slots with Fight Pass. So I ended up getting my own stream on YouTube and Facebook just for my fight, but I had to wait till the whole card was done. So I went straight to the promoter, and which the promoter's Eric Garcia, and I was like, hey man, I told you, I was like, main card next time, and he was like, oh, we'll get you on that main card. I said, I want to be on Fight Pass. He's like, all right, we'll take care of you. And then immediately they were talking about October 6th, and I had an issue with my left hand from banging that dude's head over and over and over. And I still took a fight. I signed the contract. I was supposed to fight a guy October 6th. And the guy ended up pulling out within like 2 days of him signing the contract. So that was the original date. And then I got offered a date for November 2nd. But they had a situation where they wanted to wait for 2 other guys to fight. And they wanted me to fight the winner of that fight. But it was like within 2 weeks after that fight. So I told my manager to tell them that I didn't really want to wait for the winner because, whoever wins might be banged up. You never know if they even going to take the fight, because I was the only one that gave an answer to that. They didn't talk to either one of those guys about taking the fight with me 2 weeks after. So I was like, I really don't want to bank on that. And then December 15th came around, and I got offered 2 guys for December 15th. And one guy ended up taking it, and the other guy ended up fighting somebody else a couple weeks ago. So that's how that came about. But, yeah, as soon as I walked out the cage, they immediately started talking about dates.
Okay. I haven't seen your opponent yet. I don't want you to disclose anything you can't hear, but do you have a name? Is everything confirmed? It's signed on his end as well?
Yeah, we got this. I think we were one of the first fights to get made on this card because they still got 2 more events in November. So I think we were one of the first few fights to get made on the card, if not the first fight. And, I've known about this fight since 13, 14 weeks out. I signed the contract a couple weeks ago. I think it was about 8 or 9 weeks out. We both signed the contract. So everything's signed, dotted on the dotted line, and from both ends. Plane tickets are already bought. Everything's already in line. So I talked to my manager about 2 days ago to double check, make sure everything was still a go, because I haven't received a fight poster yet. And but behind the scenes, everything's looking good so far. So we're just waiting for that fight poster and then the announcement on Fury and Tapology and all that good stuff.
Gotcha. I mean, until people see the match card, it's not real, right? But
exactly right.
So you're kind of in a unique position. This is going to be fight 2 of 4, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is kind of unique because you're not necessarily a UFC fighter, so they don't have a finite roster. It's kind of guys are coming and going with Fury. So is there like any rumors within your camp? Do you kind of guesstimate who your opponent's going to be, or could they just bring in anybody for you?
I don't really see them actually bringing in too many guys to fight guys. Usually they've got a decent flyweight roster actually. but you got guys with different level of experience. I mean, you got guys with 1 fight, 2 fights. You got guys with 10 fights, but they might not have the best records. You've got a couple prospects, undefeated prospects, or guys that maybe with 1 loss that have good records. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. I don't know how they go about bringing guys in to fight their guys. I'm sure that if I asked for a specific guy, they could probably try to make it work, but it's all on, their end as far as what they're paying those guys and what type of contract, even if they're interested in those guys, because some guys, they just don't, you know what I mean? I know they work with a lot of Texas guys. So through my management, I was able to get the call and get this opportunity, because I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, bro. Fury's out of Texas. So, but luckily they're a feeder league to the UFC, so I was able to get that opportunity. But as far as bringing new guys in, I think it's like really mainly in the Texas scene, man. I see them doing that for the most part.
Gotcha. I was just curious. I mean, it's kind of a unique position. You don't really, I mean, I don't really get to talk to too many guys that are contracted to a multi-fight deal. So I'm just kind of curious as to how it works on your end. But
they do have a pretty steep roster for flyweights, though, man. They got a lot of flyweights that are, obviously I don't know what these guys' contracts are, but there's guys that stick around for Fury that have fought there a couple times, and they're still getting matchups too. So.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the harder divisions to fill. Flyweight and heavyweight is always a struggle. So, I mean, it's nice to know that you have work lined up and they have guys under contract for you ready to go. I was just kind of curious as to how that would work.
Yeah.
So obviously we don't want to overlook this fight, and you're still signed to the multi-fight deal, but there's some interesting things going on right now. Tough just announced a new season at flyweight. You always have the Contender Series in the back of your mind. So I guess how does that work for you? Are you looking to fight out your contract, or if you get the call from Dana for Tuesday night, do they release you? What does that look like?
It's actually in my contract that if the UFC picks me up, it's an automatic transfer.
Nice, because
they're partnered with the UFC, so I don't think there's ever going to be any issues with that, even if it wasn't in the contract. But it is, word for word in the contract that if they want to pick me up, it's an automatic transfer. As far as the Ultimate Fighter goes. I'm putting in my application. I've got my manager putting it in, but I know they've got a requirement of 3 pro fights. I'll only have 2, but I will have 13 MMA fights overall. So I think if we go out here and smoke this next dude, we should be able to find a loophole to be, to at least try to get on the show. But I'm gonna call my shot. See what the matchmakers, and see what I don't know exactly who we deal with the Ultimate Fighter. My manager would know more than me on that. But we're gonna shoot the shot, man. See if we can get on there. I talked to my manager. He thinks if we go out here and smoke this dude, we got a pretty good shot at getting on the show. So hopefully everything works out. The Ultimate Fighter is definitely gonna be a little harder than Contender Series, because you got to live at the house with all the other guys, and you got to fight those guys, train with those guys. You got different coaches that you're not working with your normal team. So it's definitely some hoops that you got to jump through, but. It's all exhibition fights, bro. So I just want to go out there. I'll fight whoever they put in front of me on the show, just to get my name out there. And that's the type of shit Dana likes, man. So
I hear you there. I mean, I actually just kind of made the argument the other day that the Contender Series is probably the choice for a young prospect as opposed to the Ultimate Fighter, just based on pay. But I think you might be the one exception to the rule, given that you kind of already have a following. You've got the ability to speak on camera, speak on the mic, and everybody knows you're knocking guys dead. So I mean, as opposed to these younger kids that are just coming in fighting almost older guys you're seeing now. A lot of guys that are, kind of salty records are going to the Ultimate Fighter. I feel like you're kind of the epitome of the prospect that should consider it, as opposed to most of these guys. So, I mean, is that something you've given some thought to as I guess, let's say you do get the call. Have you given some thought into the media side of it, how you're going to be kind of basically on camera 24/7?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it, man. I definitely have. I think I'll do all right, bro, because I'm not a fake person. I'm pretty genuine, bro, and people like my attitude and my personality, and I think I'll do fine, bro. I lived on a military base when I was a kid. Got my GED. I lived on a base for 6 months you're talking seven platoons with 50 kids in each platoon that we lived at a military base. So as far as living at the house with other fighters, I'm not worried about that. The camera being on 24/7. You do got to be careful what you say. And you do got to make sure that you don't look stupid. You can't be crying on the show. Don't nobody want to see all that shit, man.
Let me bang, bro. Let me
Yeah.
bang, bro.
I mean, obviously it's entertaining, bro. But like, if you lose a fight, you can't be crying afterwards and shit. Like, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? You just got to go on the show and drop your nuts in front of everybody, dog, and just be yourself. Because people like genuine shit, man. People like to see who you really are. They don't see who you're trying to be. They don't want to see who you're trying to be. You know.
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, I feel like if the guy, how do I put this? If the contestants don't let the producers know who they are, the producers kind of decide who you are. And you'll see these guys like, it's like, yeah, Joey was having a hard time cutting weight. He's like, oh, this is so hard, bro. They kind of like they paint a picture of you if you don't put your personality out there. So it's just it's interesting. I feel like you're the type of personality to be like, this is Ty, this is who you get 24/7. So I mean, it'll be interesting. I feel like you're the perfect candidate, like I said. But kind of talk to me a little bit about the personal front too. So I mean, I just watched you trick-or-treating with your son here. You're kind of juggling this new pro career and fatherhood. Is that something that plays into your mindset with the Ultimate Fighter? Obviously, you're going to be away from your family if you get the call.
Yeah, if I get the call for the show, I'll probably miss my son's birthday. His birthday's the end of January, so I'll probably miss my son's birthday, his third birthday. So it is what it is. You know, you gotta make sacrifices, bro. You know, it all pay off in the long run. So I'm not worried about that. I know his mom will be fine while I'm gone, and then we got family that'll fill in that role for me. I know my dad is gonna make sure that they're all good and they got everything they need. And then, you know, until I get back, because I'll probably be gone for a good 2 months or so. So I've definitely thought about it, but that's not something that you can let break you down, because if you're not strong about that type of stuff, man, that shit'll cost you a fight. You know, that shit'll cost you the first fight on the show. But you're not even gonna make it to the second round if you let shit like that bother you. I mean, some guys use it as motivation. Some guys, it'll break them. But for me, it's like, it kind of just is what it is, man. You know, I don't really look at it any type of way, honestly. Of course, I'm gonna miss him, but it's all for him at the end of the day. So it's not like, obviously I'm doing it for me because it's my career, it's what I want to do. But it's like, this is my only route, it's my only option. So it's either this or bust. So I'm not really worried about that. It's like, you know, I'm on call. I gotta go. I'll be back in 8 weeks. Hopefully I come back with that UFC contract. You know.
I hear you there. So you've been training in Florida in the past. Does your family typically come with you, or are you kind of seasoned vet when it comes to, you know, going away for a fight camp, locking in?
Yeah, they came with me when I went down to Florida. We lived down there for
Gotcha.
about 2 years, and
Wow.
I was training there. They came down. My son was actually born down there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're Louisville babies, but my son was born in Daytona, and then we ended up moving back up here. And then I was with the one gym for a while, and then I ended up switching.
So are you still with two brothers?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm still with Derek Dispinette. We got Derek Dispinette, we got Sean Dispinette, we got Todd Price, wrestling coach, grappling coach. I'm still working with my brother Nathan Two Bills Pierce. He was just up here for this whole week helping out with camp. We got a lot of solid Muay Thai guys, kickboxing guys, a lot of solid wrestlers. We got a wrestler that he's from New Albany, Indiana, is where he wrestled at, and he's pretty high level. And then we cross train with some of the gyms around here. Like we're going to spar at Louisville Combat tonight at 5. So I mean, we work with a lot of guys, man. We got a really solid team here. And then when it's time to cross train, we just, you know, we pull the trigger on that.
Absolutely. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about your camp here. So after now that you have this first pro fight under your belt, is there anything you're deciding to implement in camp? You know, it's one of those things where you can train, you know, 5-minute rounds all day long, but when you're actually in there and you kind of feel the experience, is there anything you decided to change in your preparation?
I mean, my coach is pretty experienced with a lot of different guys, a lot of different rule sets, and a lot of different styles. So it's like he works with everybody different here. Even though like we've got our advanced group, which is the fight team, a lot of their training is similar, but he works with each individual guy differently. So when he's working with me, it's a lot of pushing, man. Like the other day, I had Shark Tank, which I did 5 rounds with Coach Sean and then 2 rounds with Coach Nate, and they were 4-minute rounds with 15-second rest in between the rounds. So I mean that, but but our Muay Thai guy, he might not do that type of work. He might do a different type of, he'll probably still get Shark Tank, but it'll be different round lengths, different rest lengths. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that, it's pretty much tailored around the MMA guys when it comes to us. So it's a lot of hard work, man. A lot of pushing, a lot of cage work, a lot of ground work, a lot of sprawling, a lot of getting up, a lot of striking. I mean, everything's just tailor made for me when it comes to working with my coach, Derek. He's got everything on lock, man. I fully trust the guys. There's not a day that I come in this gym and wonder what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Everything's scheduled. Everything's lined up perfectly. My sparring's scheduled. I'm not over sparring. I'm not under sparring. I'm not overtraining. I'm not under training. Everything's perfect. I've got one rest day out the week. If I need to take another one, they trust me to take another one. You know what I'm saying? Everything just seems everything's running so smoothly around here that it's more about, training hard and training smart at the same time.
100%. Oh, absolutely. I think you have kind of an advantage as opposed to most guys. I feel like the average fighter I talk to is kind of their own head coach. They're kind of managing their week and where they're getting training in. It's not like that for you. You have somebody that kind of dictates your schedule almost.
Yeah, man. And if I could give any advice to fighters like that, bro, I mean, you don't need to be running, because you might think you know what it takes, man, but you're not gonna push yourself to that. You're gonna push yourself as hard as you think you need to be pushing yourself. If you got somebody, you got a group of guys or a group of coaches around you that know your true potential, they're going to push you to that true potential. You know what I'm saying? Because there's guys, dude, I got guys that believe in me more than I believe in myself. And they're not going to let me slack off. Not that I'm a slacker at all in any means, but they're not going to let it happen anyway. So, you know what I mean? If you're a fighter out here that's running your own schedule and managing yourself and taking your own fights, and your coach ain't showing up every day for you, and you're kind of, I would advise you to change that as soon as possible, because I've been through that.
I was gonna say, you can't argue with the results, man. I mean, I think a lot of guys, they get like we always talk about this. They get a little bit of success at amateur, and they're like, time to go pro, and then you just watch it all kind of fall apart. As opposed to the guys that, they take their losses, they put in the hard work, they take the hard fights, they travel to compete, they travel to cut weight, and then by the time they go pro, they know exactly what they need. So I mean, it's clear the results are working for you. I mean, I personally feel I'm privileged to be on this journey with you, brother. I like doing these interviews. I like talking with you. I feel like I'm talking to Conor McGregor in 2012. You know what I mean? It seems like the UFC is almost a certainty for you. So, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You have a lot of people in your corner. But this kind of brings me to my next question. Let's say, I mean, there's no let's say. I feel like Ty No Smoke is UFC bound, especially at flyweight. So, I mean, what does your dream fight look like? Is there a dream opponent, a dream stage? Is there a dream promotion? What does that look like for you?
It's definitely UFC. My dream fight. My dream fight probably would have been Figueiredo, man, but he moved up. That's been one of my favorite flyweights forever. I know DJ's probably everybody else's favorite flyweight or Marino, but when Figueiredo was at flyweight, man, he was fucking knocking dudes dead, and that's my type of style, bro. So that definitely would have been my dream fight. By the time I get in the UFC and work my way up those ranks and get to a title, who knows if Pantoja's still going to be there? Who knows if Moreno's still going to be there? It might be a second generation of flyweights coming through by the time we get to the top of that level. So
Right.
As far as the dream fight, I would say all the dream fights are at 35 for me as far as names. But I'm not, I don't look at going up the bantamweight anytime soon. I plan on making a run at flyweight for as long as I can. So as far as the dream fight goes, that's kind of out the question for me, man. I want to be the dream fight. I want people to look at me and I want to be the dream fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I've had a soul call me out since I've started fighting. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's because the style or what I bring to the table, or if it's just because who knows? It could be for any reason whatsoever, but I want to be the dream fight for other guys.
I mean, it might be because you're knocking guys dead in the cage, Ty. You ever considered that?
It could be, bro, but who knows, man? Who knows what these guys are thinking? Because I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? If I see somebody knock a dude dead at my weight class, I'm like, hey, man, that's what's up.
Well,
You know what I mean? That's cool.
that's the
That's what
winner's
the fuck you're
mentality.
supposed to do.
100%. I mean,
You
that's
know?
what makes you you. You're on the you're not looking to chase guys down. You're looking to be chased. And I mean, that's the
Yeah.
right mentality to have, brother. Like
Because my biggest pet peeve is watching a weak ass fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing to me is why sitting there and watching a weak ass fight is the worst thing to me. I like high level, good technical fights that are exciting at the same time. You know what I mean? I like guys that go for it, bro. And that's the type of guy I am, and that's what I like to watch. That's what I like to see. And then, like I said, I want to work. I want to get through my Fury contract. I want to get to the UFC. I want to do whatever it takes to work my way up in the rankings. And I want to bring a belt back to Louisville, Kentucky, man. That's for sure.
I mean, you're on the path, brother. I have all the faith in the world in you. But this is kind of my last question. Then you can give your shout outs here. But I guess what would your sales pitch be to the Ultimate Fighter? Why would you be the guy to select?
I mean, obviously my highlights and my style speaks for itself. But I mean, I'll just get on that mic and call him. You know, I'll hit a Michael Chandler. I got one dude on my mind, Dana White. I heard you need an Ultimate Fighter. I'm your guy. Call me. You know what I mean? There's no way. It's inevitable. Whether it's Ultimate Fighter, Contender Series, or jumping straight into the UFC, it's inevitable. You know, obviously it comes down to who you know with certain people, this and that. But dude, I don't have a worry in the world about getting in the UFC, brother, at all. You know, I don't think I need a sales pitch. I don't think I need shit. I just go out there and do my thing, and I'll definitely be put on that big stage one day, bro. No doubt about it.
The body of work speaks for itself. You heard it here.
No doubt about it.
So
And I'm
now,
just a solid motherfucker, man. I'm not your normal guy when it comes to this shit, bro. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. We got a different slang. We got different styles out here, bro, and it's interesting, man. We're an interesting group of people out here in Louisville, bro. So
that's kind of something else. I'm so sorry to bring this up, but I've just spoken to so many fighters from the South. You guys are a different breed when it comes to like Southern fighters. You guys don't say no to fights. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody's hungry. That's the main thing. I feel like a lot of these guys are like, well, I'm a brand. I can't lose. It's going to look bad for my brand. And then you have these Southern boys that are like, I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. That Cowboy Cerrone mentality. I mean, that really is what speaks volumes at the next level. Guys that don't say no to fights, basically.
yeah, I mean, obviously you got to be smart and you got to take the right fights at the right time. But I mean, do you train to get ready or do you stay ready, man? And if you think you're ready for that level, you shouldn't be. If your goal is to get in the UFC, then somebody at Fury UFC, you shouldn't be saying no. Somebody on the amateur scene, you shouldn't be saying no. You know, at regional level, you shouldn't be saying no. If you think you're ready for that and that's where you want to be at, you got to take those fights, bro. You got to. And I don't control who I fight. The names come to my table. I say yes to every single name that comes across the table. It's usually the other side for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get 2 or 3 names offered. I'll say yes to all of them, and then it's usually whoever says yes and puts their name on the contract on the other side is who I get.
Well, I mean, like I say all the time, man, you can't argue with the results. It's a winner's mentality. Like going from this place where you're a successful amateur to now a hungry pro, I feel like it's only going to be a matter of time. Like I said, it's I don't think it should take you more than 4 fights. And for whatever reason, if the Ultimate Fighter passes, the Contender Series is right around the corner. I have no doubts about it. But now is your time. If there's any shout outs, anything you'd like to say, anything you want to tell the audience, floor is yours.
I'd like to shout out Two Brothers Muay Thai, Team Wild Bunch. I'd like to shout out to my dad, Sand Dollar Boat Rentals. Shout out to Patrick Carter Tattoo. I'd like to shout out Splits pre-workout, Todd Price, Get Some Fitness, and just shout out to Louisville, Kentucky, man, because I need the city behind my back for sure, man. That's how you make a champ. You got to get that city behind you. So I'm always gonna shout them out, whether they love me or hate me. Shout out Fury FC for giving me the opportunity, and obviously shout out to you, brother. Combat Sports Report.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the time, guys. December 15th, Thai No Smoke, Fury on Fight Pass this time. Get it right. But thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Sir.
Good. Time it. From the back touch of the mat. I'm Seth Showtime Wheeler, and we'll be right back.
You've got goals, and we can help you reach them. We're TriFecta, an organic meal subscription delivered weekly. Select the meal plan that fits your lifestyle. Don't know where to start? Take the meal plan quiz to help you choose. Then select all of your food and order preferences. Once the meals are delivered, simply unwrap, heat up, and eat. You can change the plans at any time, or pause or skip weeks. Meals come fresh and are never frozen. They are nutrient-packed and portion-controlled, with different meals each week designed by real chefs, all delivered in recyclable packaging. We make sure you succeed by giving you the right tools. Take advantage of our app, log your food intake, find workouts, participate in transformation challenges, and manage your food subscriptions. So, let's go. Join a community ready to help you stay motivated and inspired, and start building healthy habits today with TriFecta.
Make every morning a good morning with Black Rifle Coffee. Our coffee club subscription delivers the best coffee in America straight to your door.
Whether you're just starting out with boxing or looking to elevate your game, the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove is the perfect glove for you. It's got that double splinted technology that runs on the back of the glove that helps keeps your knuckles and your wrist in alignment. When you slide your hand in, you'll feel a nice silky interior and an ergonomic thumb position. As you strap the wrist, you'll notice a nice adjustable strap which helps put as much tension as you like or as little depending on your preference. On the outside of the glove, you'll notice a sweat-wicking thumb to help keep you focused during your training. So to elevate your game, make sure you check out the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove.
Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report. I am Nick Marcello, and I am joined by the man behind Main Character Jiu Jitsu, Kemoy Anderson. Kemoy, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm feeling great. It's fight week. I'm just ready.
Yes, sir. So I'm glad you said that. I definitely want to talk to Kemoy the promoter, but first and foremost, I'd like to talk to Kemoy the competitor. You've been pretty busy lately.
Oh yeah, real busy.
So coming off a PGF and then going right into a match with Phil Rowe, could you kind of talk to me about that? Was that something you had intended to do, or did these opportunities just kind of come up?
Yeah, I mean the opportunities came up, but I could have said no, but I wanted to take advantage of as much stuff as possible because prior to this, I was in Thailand for a couple months, and which I'm heading back right after one last competition. So I feel like I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in Thailand going forward. While I'm in America, I want to take advantage of as much competition as possible.
Okay, I hear you there. Is the goal in Thailand to train and get better, or is it just kind of a lifestyle change?
Lifestyle change. Everything in my lifestyle is all about training and getting better. So no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, that's always a target goal. I'm still training. I'm still trying to compete wherever I can. So it is definitely a lifestyle change, but competing and training is still a major part of that lifestyle.
Gotcha. So I mean, what is Thailand like? I've never been. I mean, it seems like night and day versus Austin, Texas.
That's exactly what it is. It is night and day because it's a 12-hour difference. So when it's night in Austin, it's day in Thailand. But yeah, it's great, man. Everybody love different places for their own reason. But for me, like it's like paradise. It's everything I could ever want in life. I feel like I'm just the most happiest in Thailand. Is everything I want. And it's just relaxing. It's just I don't know what else to say. It's just everything I could possibly want in life.
I hear you there. I mean, kind of give me a sales pitch here. It sounds like somewhere I want to go. But could you kind of talk to me a little bit about Main Character Jiu Jitsu as a promotion? As opposed to a lot of other promotions, you kind of give guys a little bit of instruction as to, if you want to get this camera time, if you want to market yourself, this is how you go about it. I think that's a refreshing change as opposed to the want to thank my coach, my opponent, and the promotion. So, I mean, what inspired you to do that?
I don't know. I guess if I'm gonna own something, I just want it to be ran the way I want it to be ran. I feel like for me, when it comes to watching UFC, when it comes to watching jiu-jitsu, I was always a fan of those guys that was a little extra spicy, because the goal of people is more attracted to a story. They like a fighter that they could relate to. They like somebody that has a purpose. Like, we could always get any two good grapplers, put them out there to grapple. Cool, whatever. We just seen some good jujitsu. But it's just a different vibe, a different feeling when that match just mean a little bit more. You know what I mean? Maybe they had some exchange of words. Maybe one person feel like they could submit the other person. The other person feel like that shit can't happen. It just always feel more better to invest in when it means more, because that's the whole point of it. Like, you want your match to feel like it means something. You don't want to feel like it's just another match.
100%. You said it best. I think a lot of guys don't necessarily see themselves as a commodity. They see themselves as an athlete. So really all they care about is bell to bell. But in reality, you're kind of selling yourself to the general public here. There's a reason Hulk Hogan today can go to a liquor store and, there's a line down the street for an autograph. And it's not necessarily because he was dropping the leg on people. You know what I mean? People were invested in what he was doing. So I mean, it's nice to see that you guys are kind of pushing for guys to get themselves out there a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So kind of talk to me about this event in particular, Main Character Jiu Jitsu 5. It's a 3-day event, no?
It's a 2-day. We have an open tournament the day before, and then we have our media day. So the open tournament is Saturday, and then the main shows on Sunday.
Okay. And Danielle Kelly seminar as well, too.
Oh yeah, that's Friday. Yeah, I guess we could call that a 3-day kind of event, MCJJ weekend. Yeah.
There you go. So I'm kind of interested in the 16 female tournament, just because you hear it all the time. Oh, there's no way to get 16 high level females in a bracket, and you managed to do that, which is that's a lot of personalities to juggle when it's 16 males. I can't even imagine 16 female competitors. So what was that process like? Is this something you set out to do just to kind of prove that you could, or is the interest there, do you feel?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of women's jujitsu. I know there's lots of guys or lots of promotion that probably don't care too much for it, but I'm a big fan. I like it. I feel like it's just a market of its own. Like, the women, they come with like a huge fan base. You know what I mean? It's like friends will always want to support their female friends, but men, we don't. For some reason, men don't go so hard for their homeboys, right? Why is that? Kind of weird, right? But girls, they always stick together. They always want to support their girls, even if they're not from the same team. You always gonna see those girls that's in the comment section saying, "Oh, Slay, you look so beautiful, Queen. Get it, Queen." You know what I mean? So females always gonna hype up other women, but men don't do that. You never see men in the comment section saying, "Get it, King, Slay King." You never gonna see that, right? So
Not too much.
I just love the sisterhood with the whole thing, and I love how women grapple. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of style, a different kind of game, different personality. So I'm just a big fan, and yeah, I wanted to do something for the women, and it's not easy. It's not easy getting this much females interested in being in one bracket. It's not easy at all. But I feel like with the momentum main character have, with the hype, with everything that's on the line in the back bracket, was good enough to draw those people in.
100%. You guys are bringing a lot of cool things to the table. The production is always top notch, and you always see these super fights with some crazy. It's kind of the top of the food chain guys here. So how did that come to be? Is this something where you're kind of just getting people that you enjoy training with, or like you said, is it excuse me, it's more story driven?
Um, I guess because of simple fact, I'm one of the athletes also. I always got my eyes and ears in the community. So I know the people that's making waves. I know the people that's gonna do well. But the trick is, we could get any good grappler and match them up against any good grappler. We might not get the same energy, might not get the same vibe. It's like everybody need the right dance partner, the right piece to the puzzle to make the match what it is. Because like I said, like, it's just more to it. Cause you know, we looking for a certain energy from these jujitsu matches. We're not just looking for two people to grapple, get it over, boom, then move on. We want people that gonna compliment each other. You gotta compliment your partner. You're supposed to be rivals, you're going against each other, but your partner gonna look better because they're going against you, and vice versa. So yeah, man, I just try to stay connected to all the athletes, and like I said, once you have a good momentum going, it's easy to get other people interested.
Absolutely. I mean, main characters kind of exploded onto the scene. It went from basically, I mean, as a spectator, I was like, why are all these people in costumes? What is this? And now, I mean, you're on number 5, and I'm like, this is crazy. So, I mean, the momentum's there. It's crazy to see the growth. But how do you manage this as a competitor? You're in 2 countries. You're on PGF. You're matchmaking. You're putting together brackets. How do you manage this? When do you know is it time to compete? It's time to promote. It's time to do work. It's time to train. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's not easy at all. It's hard. It's very stressful. Every show I keep saying this is my last one. Who knows? Every show I keep saying I'm not doing this no more. This is gonna be it. So it's only a matter of time till the stress just takes me to a next level, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this again. But it's not easy at all. I feel like competing is just part of my lifestyle, just like waking up and breathing. Like that's what I was put on this earth to do. That's my purpose. And then being a promoter, that's just a hobby, something on the side that I do for fun, you know?
I got you. I got you. So the priority is competition, and then just because you're so in the know, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the past, yeah, I believe you've been working with FightFlix up to this point, but
Yeah.
like I said, the production has been great leading up to the show. What prompted the switch into flow grappling, and what can people expect with the transition?
I mean, FightFlix is still 100% on board. They still producing the show, but we just going from selling pay-per-views with FightFlix to streaming the event on Flow. The difference is, I feel like the goal was always to make it to a big platform. I feel like with the partnership with Flow, we'll get more eyes on us. It'll be easier for people to access our show because a lot of people membership of Flow is for the year already. So a lot of people already have Flow grappling, you know. Um, yeah, I feel like it will help the athletes better. We can have Flow in the building, are doing coverage. Are they, this is your opportunity to impress those guys on Flow grappling because the highest promotion after this, where everyone also want to be on, is who's number one, and it starts from these smaller show below who's number one. The guys that floor, they got their eyes on everybody, and if they in the building, this is an opportunity to make a good impression. So it's gonna be good for everybody. More eyes on the product and more opportunities for the athletes. Because I do want my athletes to level up, get their brand up and move on to bigger and better stuff while still competing for main character, of course.
Of course. That's actually, I'm glad you put that into perspective. Like I said, the production with FightFlix has been so good. I was like, I can't imagine you would make this change now. But knowing that you're going to have that distribution through Flow, that's really cool to hear. We're going to run a QR code right about here. So everybody, if you don't have the year membership, you can subscribe now. But in terms of the event, where can people watch it? If they obviously Flow Grappling, but how do they sign up? Where can they get tickets? Do fighters have promo codes? How do we support this event?
So if you want to come in person, you can check the link in the main characters page bio. We selling tickets right now. Come through. It's one thing though to watch it on your TV, but it's another thing to be there in person. Have athletes running into your table, spilling your drinks. It's just another vibe. But if you can't make it in person, watch it, stream it on Flow Grappling. We got the link in the bio. I want you to use the link in the bio because they keeping track of how many people using that link, which is going to show how well the show is doing. You got to use that link in the bio to watch the show on Flow Grappling.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate the time, Kemoy. Now the floor is yours. If there's anything you want to say, anything you'd like to tell the audience, anything you'd like to get out there as a competitor or as a promoter, now's your time.
Yeah, man, Main Character Jiu Jitsu, we coming up. Keep an eye on us. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Main Character Jiu Jitsu. Make sure you follow my personal page. That's rated R 10P. It's 2 different entities. Even though I'm the one running Main Character, I still got my own brand. I'm different from the main character, so it never cross over. 2 different people. Yeah, man, keep up. Appreciate everybody. That's about it.
All right, Kemoy, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Yes, exactly.
My name's Esteban. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Whether you're just starting out with boxing or looking to elevate your game, the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove is the perfect glove for you. It's got that double splinted technology that runs on the back of the glove that helps keeps your knuckles and your wrist in alignment. When you slide your hand in, you'll feel a nice silky interior and an ergonomic thumb position. As you strap the wrist, you'll notice a nice adjustable strap which helps put as much tension as you like or as little depending on your preference. On the outside of the glove, you'll notice a sweat wicking thumb to help keep you focused during your training. So to elevate your game, make sure you check out the Hayabusa E1 boxing glove.
Right now. Tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now. Watch out, back out, wait up, my wake up, stay up, they gon' get it, they gon' take us, raise up, we got color, they try and gray us, you are now listening to the greatest. Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now, to the stars, I want it all. Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now, to the stars, I want it all. Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now, to the stars, I want it all. Right now, right.
The biggest fulfillment is knowing that as a fitness professional, I could change that person's life.
I wanted to motivate people to become the best versions of themselves. Guiding someone and seeing the happiness, no words can describe that.
I'm so passionate about the fitness industry because I get to impact, I get to inspire, and I get to change lives every day.
You know who you are and who you want to become. Uncertainty and failure stand before you, but the biggest obstacle is you. How do you handle adversity? How many times can you fall and still pull yourself back up? What do you do when no one else is around? What do you do when you get tired, unmotivated, when you don't feel like it? When you want to quit? Do you take a breath and focus? Only the journey matters. There are only the moments that take you closer to who you want to become. Moments that make you a little bit better today than yesterday. And the only way to get there is you. Are you up for it?
Welcome back to the Combat Sports Report. It is now time to take a look at the Fierce FC results. Christian Edwards, Donovan Wagner, let's go. Christopher Anderson is able to get it done over Donovan Wagner. The grappling of Anderson was absolutely the factor in this fight, and despite a valiant performance from Wagner, Anderson gets the nod. Alright, next up, Christian Edwards versus Jerome Hatch. As you can see here, Edwards was able to establish the tie clinch early, and that would be the difference maker in this fight. As predicted, Christian Edwards gets it done via second round TKO.